Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is ECW. We are here in Stuttgart, Germany for this episode of ECW, and while it may not be the perfect episode of ECW that we were looking for, while it may not be the absolute positive outcome that we wanted, we can at least rejoice in the fact that Diamond Dallas Page is no longer ECW Champion, and for the fact of the matter, Diamond Dallas Page himself is not on this episode of ECW. We can rejoice and look at the talent pool that we have on this roster with matches such as this one. Baron Corbin going to take on the returning Aleister Black one-on-one here tonight. What a matchup that's going to be between those two men. 4 horsemen against the Wyatt family in some aspects, in what I think will be a very, very interesting matchup to say the least. But then we have our main event in what should be one for the ages, a dream match I would always imagine. Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins, the Heartbreak Kid against the Architect, one-on-one here tonight. Shawn Michaels, of course, currently in a tag team with AJ Styles, but still always wants to stake his claim towards the top of ECW. With a vacant ECW Championship, he always has the chance to go for it. But Seth Rollins, the man who is staking his claim firmly, who stands atop the mountain ready to reclaim that ECW Championship, will go one-on-one with Shawn Michaels here tonight. And should he win, then Rollins has stated that he has some big news to give regarding the ECW Championship and regarding SummerSlam. So tune in for that one, tune in for this whole card, because we're going to get things underway with some Cruiserweight action. So, with this being a great ECW, just simply because Diamond Dallas Page isn't on it, let us kick things off with the Cruiserweight matchup that I did say, involving the premier athlete, wobbly arm Tony Nese, and the ever upbeat, ever dancing around Rich Swann. Both these men now looking for an opportunity to prove themselves. Both these men looking for an opportunity to try and stake their claim to be the number one. I've said that phrase already too many times this evening. But both these men looking for a chance to become number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, and certainly for the new Cruiserweight Champion Neville, who won at the opener of Money in the Bank in what was a very entertaining matchup, to say the least. Neville handles Suicide as if some kind of expert in that ring, as if a true king of the Cruiserweights. It was a job very, very well done by Neville, and he will be in action later on tonight, actually. So keep your eyes out for that one. But as for right now, it is Tony Nese and Rich Swann. This should be a very interesting one, to say the least. Swann, of course, a graduate from NXT, still looking for his first win on ECW. Was here a few weeks ago, had a chance to go to Money in the Bank, but just came short. He wasn't pinned in the matchup. So there's, he's got nothing to worry about in that aspect. But still, now here and now in the Cruiserweight division. I mean, I say in the Cruiserweight division, but of course this is, everyone gets treated differently. You may be a Cruiserweight superstar, but you can still go for another championship. I mean, we've got Neville actually later on tonight going one-on-one with the television champion Dean Ambrose. We've seen the likes of other talents, other Cruiserweight talents find success before. Tommaso Ciampa, for example, runner-up in the King of the Ring this year. So there is certainly, the Cruiserweights, while we do have a lot of them on this brand, they are not all stuck to one division. Something that Rich Swann may or may not be able to use to his advantage. He fought some big names down in NXT and certainly picked up some experience down there. Tony Nese did not have the courtesy of going to NXT. Instead went straight to ECW, and that may or may not have some problems for the premier athlete. Well, we'll find out right now to see if NXT experience can help you out as this matchup gets underway. As I said, of course, both men looking for an opportunity to try and show that they should be the first opponent for the Cruiserweight Champion Neville. I did say Neville will be in action against Dean Ambrose later on tonight, but first I will explain, I will talk about what's coming up for you on the card. After this, we do have that Baron Corbin Aleister Black matchup, a huge match right there. Corbin, one of the hot prospects of ECW, perhaps the hottest prospect on ECW as a whole, looking to try and mount a victory. I think this is the first time we've seen Corbin since maybe that triple threat match back at Heatwave. I think it might be the first time we've seen both these men since Heatwave. I want to say we've seen Corbin since then, but I feel like we haven't at the same time. I'm not too sure about that one, but we certainly haven't seen Aleister Black since Heatwave. Bray Wyatt disappointed with the performance of Black against Samoa Joe at that pay-per-view. and punished him. Sent him to the Wyatt compound to do whatever happens in the Wyatt compound. I don't want to hazard a guess, but, you know, something along those lines. Who knows what is something along those lines, but just imagine whatever Bray Wyatt wants to go through. Wants to put his followers through. So let's see if that has found success within Aleister Black, and we'll see if he can pick up a win here tonight over Baron Corbin. Then we're going to see a tag team matchup. It's going to be the team of Chris Benoit and former Cruiserweight Champion Dean Malenko, who have teamed up once before. Going to look to try and make another mount in the tag team division as they go up against the former ECW Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Heels, still looking for their first victory since losing those tag team titles back at Heatwave. However, of course, if Benoit and Malenko are to get the win, well, the same really goes whoever gets the win in that matchup has got to keep their eyes about them, keep their wits about them, because we all know who the tag team champions are. The Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and the undefeated Braun Strowman. Then we're going to be talking, speaking of Neville, actually, finally getting to him, he will be going one-on-one in a non-title matchup later on tonight against the television champion Dean Ambrose in what should be an interesting competition. Ambrose for the first time being seen since I think he defended that television championship in that triple threat match against Roddy Strong and Sheamus. Now will Ambrose be able to find some success over the new Cruiserweight champion? Or can Neville keep his momentum, keep his offense going about him, and surge on to another victory? And then, of course, our main event, as advertised, Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins, one-on-one match here tonight. Rollins saying he's on the pledge for SummerSlam. Rollins on the way to SummerSlam. And if he wins here tonight, Rollins with some big news to drop regarding the SummerSlam pay-per-view. I know the news already, of course, being the general manager of this brand. But, of course, it's only myself and Rollins who have the words on this one, who have the knowledge about the news that he could drop here tonight, provided he beats Shawn Michaels. Rich Swann going to fly with a springboard 450. Tony Nese got out of the way there. Focusing back on this matchup right now. Rich Swann and Nese have been fairly back and forth thus far. Nese has found his strengths, but so has Swann. Good back suplex into a power bomb. More or less. Kind of like a Blue Thunder bomb there by Tony Nese, but it's a very early kick out by Rich Swann. Spun around here by Tony Nese once more. German suplex. Now look at the strength there of the premier athlete. Pound for pound. One of the toughest cruiserweights there is. And with a physique like he has, you would believe it, I think. You would be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't have a physique like his. Or does have a physique like his in the cruiserweight division. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Jesus Christ, that was a mangled up sentence. Swann in a lot of trouble now, and Nese going to capitalize. Pump handle slam here maybe on its way. Has him up. Pump handle power slam by the premier athlete. Hit it seemingly out of thin air, and there's the strength of Nese being demonstrated wholeheartedly. And with that, Tony Nese secures a big win over Rich Swann. To give him push, to give him a go towards that Cruiserweight Championship held by Neville. Good win by Nese. Good performance by Swann, and one of these days that guy will certainly win his first match here on ECW. He's going to prove to me that he was not a disappointing signing. You know what? I mean, I'm not saying he is one. I'm just saying I need a few more wins out of him, and I need them kind of fast. But, alright. Well, there's a good win for Nese, but we're going to move on now to our next contest. It is a huge one. Two big athletes within ECW. Two incredibly talented athletes as well within the ECW roster. Baron Corbin and Aleister Black up next. This match for both men really is a great opportunity to try and seize victory at a kind of a struggling time, to be fair, for both men. Maybe not so much Black, because we haven't seen Black since Heatwave, which was about a month ago, actually. I thought it was longer than that, to be fair. But we haven't seen, Corbin. He's kind of all over the place with his momentum. One moment he's doing really well, the next moment he's failing with his momentum. And despite him being, you know, such a talented athlete and so well versed and so well trained by the Four Horsemen as well, Corbin is just really struggling to find that success. However, I think if Corbin's able to get a few more victories, if Corbin's able to secure a championship, I think they will give him the speech that we've seen in the past. You are, you know, outside of this universe anyway, the claim that you are an honorary horseman. You've provided all you can. Now it is time for you to go about your own business. And Corbin certainly, I think, would like that. Corbin would love to be someone who could go about in his own business. I mean, he calls himself the Lone Wolf, and he only includes himself in horseman business when it is absolutely necessary. And I do believe there are other talents on this roster that could really use the assistance of the leadership of Chris Jericho and Arn Anderson. Even someone like Rich Swann could certainly develop from the from the teachings of the Four Horsemen. But now we move away from Jericho and Arn, and we focus on this man, brought in by Bray Wyatt, a pupil, a follower, a buzzard, whatever Bray Wyatt uses the term to call him. Aleister Black is finally here, finally making his return on ECW, and it is already a chilling sight to see. Clearly, in his days before he was signed to this universe, Black had picked up quite a following in Germany, as this crowd is very, very happy to see him make his return here tonight. Both men with kind of dark features to them, both men not really cut from the same aspect of society, from the same side of society. They don't really fit in as others do. They're outcasts in their own right. Baron Corbin an outcast because he just doesn't like people. Aleister Black an outcast because he follows the ways of Bray Wyatt. And he is far, far from what you would imagine, far from a status quo of the normal people who occupy the crowd here. All the tattoos on both men as well certainly go to show this. They are somewhat alike, is the honest truth. They have similar features. But it's time to see. It's regardless of features, really. It's regardless of how they are viewed in society. It's what they can do in that ring that matters. And right here tonight, we're going to be seeing what both these men can bring to the table. Who can secure victory in this very, very entertaining looking ECW matchup. Making us the best brand week in and week out with matches such as this one. What strength there from Black right off the bat with a German suplex to the 270-some pounder. I would guess. Going to work right away on the arm, trying to take away the power game of the Lone Wolf. Baron Corbin not too happy about that one. And oh, there's a power bomb on his shoulder there. Quick cover now on Black, trying to get an early advantage here. Secures a 1 count, but Corbin may have a little bit of control in this one. Kick him in the gut there. And Black's return not getting off to the incredible start that he probably wanted it to. But then again, he is taking on a tough competitor in Corbin. Pop-up Meteora there. Very impressive back and forth start by both men right now. And into a cross armbar here is Aleister Black. Certainly knows a lot of submission-based wrestling. I think we saw it on numerous occasions against Samoa Joe, the Dragon Sleeper. He executed a Heatwave in their incredible matchup. Well, that is not what we're here to talk about now. That we're not here to talk about Samoa Joe. We're not here to talk about the past. We're focusing on the present and the future of ECW, I believe, certainly has an involvement with these two men. Aleister Black calling Baron Corbin up to his feet. You're going to fly, and oh, caught him with a knee in the head. Seth Rollins-esque there. Hell, if Black's going to try and use moves from anyone, it might as well be from the best. Only a 1 count, but it's still early days in this matchup. Both these men still with a lot to give before this one's going to come to an end. And there's the Golden Glove winner of Baron Corbin, using his strong strikes to an advantage there. Good reverse DDT counter though by Aleister Black. He can't keep Corbin down for long. Kind of knew this back and forth aspect was going to come into play with how well-rounded these two are in the ring. How well-rounded they are in between those ropes. And here it is, the Dragon Sleeper now that I was on about. Look at how he stretches that neck all the way back. But Corbin, certainly not one to live through pain. In fact, he's lived through pain probably his entire life being such an outcast. I'm not trying to give sympathy for Baron Corbin, but, you know, it's kind of true. Suplex maybe, up in the air, and good counter there. Neck breaker by Corbin. And now he goes to work on Aleister Black, only temporarily though. No, going to be a good one here. Looks for some kind of choke slam there, or choke drop. But Black with a very quick arm drag is there to counter. And look at him, sitting in position, waiting for Corbin to get back up to his feet. What a mind reader there Aleister Black truly is. And now what's he going to do? Got him to the ropes. Aleister Black, good God. We're barely into this matchup, and Black's going to take flight here onto Baron Corbin. Look at that. Flew over the top rope as if it didn't even exist. Perfect landing down onto the Lone Wolf. And Aleister Black can take advantage in this matchup right now. Into the ring goes Baron Corbin. Is he in trouble here now? Does Aleister Black have him right where he wants him? Looking for some kind of Uranagi, it seemed quickly, but Corbin having none of it. There's a reversal on the Lone Wolf now into a Samoan drop. Send Aleister Black down. Well, there's the, certainly not the ways of the Four Horsemen being shown in that one there, as he just unloads with shots. With kicks under the chest of Aleister Black, and very nice suplex there into the cover. Doesn't hook the leg, might result in a kick out here, and indeed it does. Corbin though still doing a good job right now. Deep six by Corbin. Doesn't go for the cover right away. Perhaps Corbin has something else in mind. Aleister Black seemingly in a whole world of trouble now. No. Black quick to counter it in the corner. What a back and forth matchup this one has been thus far. Baron Corbin now perched up on that top rope. This one could end dangerously for both men. Aleister Black going to follow up to that top rope here. Superplex maybe. Corbin though having none of it. Counters his way out and very nearly fell from the top rope himself. Corbin sticks the landing, and now with a single leg lock here. Not often we see Corbin locking into the submission. But he's certainly trying to get the tap out there to no avail. Aleister Black kicks him heavily in the head, jumps into a quick cover, and very nearly secured victory there with it actually. Black not best pleased. Imagine if he's to lose this one. All the torture that Bray Wyatt's putting through will be for nothing. End of days. It may well be the case. Cover on Black. There's two, and no. Aleister Black just barely getting the shoulder up according to the referee. But look at how Black's able to turn this into an advantage. Oh my God, German suplex! Where the hell did that one come from? I've never seen anyone reverse a kick to the gut quite like that. And I think Corbin, somewhere along the line, got busted open from it. I have no idea how that happened, but Corbin's bleeding. And now this is Aleister Black's match for the winning. Unloading away there with the kicks and the punches. Bray Wyatt is sure going to be pleased about this outcome. The Four Horsemen bleed, or a member of the Four Horsemen at least bleeds. And now Aleister Black in position, ready to strike. Black Mass! And that should do it. The blood drips down the face of Corbin. And what a return for Aleister Black. He is your winner in this one. And what a victory it was as well. Aleister Black pulls out a huge win there. In what was a very entertaining contest to boot. Black putting that loss of Heatwave behind him. Letting all the all the teachings and all the torture or whatever Bray Wyatt put him through back at the Wyatt compound to his success there, using it to his advantage to secure a victory. Now we're going to move on though to our next contest, tag team action. Will Chris Benoit and Malenko be able to pull off a win over the Dirty Heels, or can the former ECW Tag Team Champions get a big win when they need it most? We'll find out next. As I said, this is really a difficult match for whoever wins, because they're getting themselves involved in a World Tag Team Championship situation. They're getting themselves involved in a place that they don't really want to be in. I mean, do you want to go, if you're Benoit and Malenko, I know you are two incredibly talented athletes, two of the greatest technical wrestlers on the planet, it could be argued. Do you really want to go face-to-face with Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, though? Do you want to go face-to-face with Braun Strowman in general? I don't. I'm certainly okay with if I can get away from that, but, you know, it's each to their own, I suppose. If you're going to be a name in this tag team division, you got to stand up to the very strongest of them all. And it's not like it's just the Wyatt family to worry about. There's the Authors of Pain as well. And of course, those two teams met last week in what was a very strange but hard-hitting tag team matchup. One that, like I said, could even endure a rematch. Due to how interesting of a tag team match it truly was. It was one of those matches where if AOP had a few more minutes, they could have won it. I still think they could have won it. But it was the Wyatt family who got the win on the night. And that's all that really matters. However, could they do it 2 times around? We'd have to find out a different time, because right now we focus on the ECW Tag Team Champions even. Don't want to think about the former World Tag Team Champions just yet. There's still a hard spot for me. Anyway, here comes Austin Aries towards the ring. Finally, of course, became a Grand Slam champion with those tag team titles. And arguably did become the greatest man that ever lived. Certainly, with a whole barrage of titles to his name. 2 WWE, 2 World Heavyweight titles, 1 WWE title, and 1 ECW title. Mix that in with the 2 Intercontinental Championship victories he's had, the former Cruiserweight Championship he held, and the ECW Tag Team title. That's 8 titles right there. There may even be more. I may have forgot some reigns that Aries has had, but if not, well, he's got a Royal Rumble victory to chuck in there as well. The greatest man that ever lived has certainly done a whole lot throughout this entire universe, but here comes a man who, in essence, is perhaps the best tag team wrestler on ECW. 3-time ECW Tag Team Champion Curtis Axel, and achieved it with 3 different tag team members as well. First reign with his father, Mr. Perfect, some time ago. Second time was filling in for the injured Brodus Clay as a part of the 1%ers, taking over with EC3. The duo did not work well together whatsoever and ended up losing those tag team titles right away. But it still stands that Axel did hold those tag team titles. And then, of course, the third time with Austin Aries, to become the man who has held the ECW tag team titles on the most occasions. The others going to Sheamus and Wade Barrett, both on 2. And the Ascension, both on 2 as well. So, with that being said, Axel looking to try and make it ECW Tag Team title number 4 on the road to SummerSlam. A matter that, in my mind, is certainly an easier said than done. But they have got it kind of easy. This is a team that we've only seen together once, I believe. So they should be able to find some success here tonight. We'll find out, but it's going to be a very interesting technical start here as it's Aries against Benoit. 2 incredible wrestlers kicking things off, and there's a nice belly-to-belly to get things underway by the Rabid Wolverine. And we're going to go suplexing already. Woohoo! German suplex there by Benoit. And what a huge one that was as well. Benoit looking to try and maybe send Aries somewhere. Well, he's sending him into the corner. Oh, nice clothesline there. Great start thus far from from Benoit, but it's Aries who's quickly able to shut the door on that one, slow the pace down to his liking, and perhaps take control. Or tag out right away. That's what he's going to do. He's going to make the tag out here. In comes Axel now, and great counter there by Axel. Nailing a good spine buster onto the former World Tag Team Champion. One half of the longest reigning World Tag Team Champions as well. Countered there though by Axel into his turnbuckle. He stumbled out of it and quick to counter as well. Axel also stumbles out of the turnbuckle. Clearly there's some kind of issue in that turnbuckle that makes people not want to stay in it apparently. Oh! Clobbering blow to the back there, and Benoit now going to make the tag out. In comes Malenko here. Former Cruiserweight Champion. Well, there's a former Cruiserweight Champion on both sides of the field. Malenko made one hell of a debut, well, not even a year ago yet, when he got to the finals of the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. Being defeated, unfortunately, for his sake, by Bobby Roode in the finals, under very questionable circumstances as well. But now here's Malenko and ECW looking to make a run for those ECW tag team titles. What he doesn't have, and of course charisma and that anger really, and the brawler aspect, he makes up for in his incredible technical and mat wrestling. And of course especially in the submission based offense as well. Whenever he locks in that Texas Cloverleaf, you have got to think in your mind that this one is all she wrote. Malenko, of course, won that Cruiserweight Championship on the grandest stage of them all as well at WrestleMania. And is looking to continue on. A good 2017 so far for the man of 1,000 holds. Off to a good start right there against Axel, but it's a nice counter there. And we're going to see two former Cruiserweight Champions collide, I believe, once Aries turns around. The ego problems of the dirty heels that have been talked about for many a time now being well and truly shown there. Aries going to tag himself in now in this situation. And he almost made collision with Axel there until Malenko brought him right back into a nice elbow. Seems as if though Malenko wants very little to do with Aries in this matchup thus far. Tag made. In comes Benoit. And, oh, clobbering double team there. Aries stumbling out of that corner. And not looking in the best of luck right now. Dumped on his stomach there. Could take the wind right out of you. That move could. Cover now by Chris Benoit. And it only gets a 1 count. Kick to the back there is quickly stuffed by Austin Aries. Oh, crucifix. And down goes Benoit now. There's a chin lock being applied onto the crippler. Good counter though by Benoit to get out of it. Aries though, can he get his team right back in it? No, he can't. It's stopped by Benoit. Benoit has won tag team titles on every brand except ECW. WWE Tag Team Champion on SmackDown, World Tag Team Champion on Raw. Never been on NXT, so that one doesn't count. Has a chance to win it here with a different tag team partner once more. In Dean Malenko. Benoit sent him down with that clothesline there, and here we go, the crippler crossface. Crippler crossface on Aries to secure a rather quick victory over the former tag team champions. Aries having none of it and rolls out of that crossface very well indeed. And now, bit of an homage to the former ECW champion Michael Bennett with a fireman's carry cutter. Aries doing the smart thing here and tagging out. But he still wanted a bit more there of Benoit, and he paid for it. And now Benoit is unloading away onto both men. Axel sent to the outside. And Benoit doesn't look like he's done yet with Axel. This one could hit hard. Up on his feet. He's going to fly. Elbow drop to the outside. Good God almighty. Malenko now tagged back in. The legal man in this one, and now he will go to work. On Curtis Axel. No, Axel played a bit of possum there. He's the one sending Malenko back into the ring now. Very well done there indeed. By the man who claims to be the second greatest man that ever lived. Malenko not buying any of that. Good counter there. Tiger Bomb now incoming. Nails it. Into the cover goes Malenko. Can he put away Axel here? No, he can't. Kick out of 2. But if I was Axel, I wouldn't rest right now on my back. You're in trouble. You are in big trouble. Texas Cloverleaf turns it over, locks it in on Axel. Benoit quick to run in and go right to work on Aries. Can he keep him at bay long enough? Oh, Axel just got to the ropes. Very well done indeed. I thought he was on the verge of tapping out there. Complete calamity in this matchup right now. The referee having a hard time calling anything in this one. Reversal by Axel as Aries finally gets out of the ring. Suplex maybe. No, great counter. Northern Lights suplex. Went to bridge. Well, I thought he was going to bridge it, but he seems not. He seems to not do that. Maybe do the referee's count. Off the ropes now. Malenko ducks under. This has been a very strong showing by Benoit and Malenko. Quick tags. While there may not have been a whole barrage of double teams, what there has been is good tag team choreography by both men. Working together, reading the ins and outs, really, of their opponents and of each other. The Dirty Heels in huge trouble here, and what a win for Benoit and Malenko this would be over former tag team champions. And here goes Benoit now. Going to try and force a submission in a different way. Sharpshooter applied on Axel. After the Texas Cloverleaf, this may be enough to put it away. All the pain in the leg and the back of Curtis Axel may come out here in its whole. Aries down. He's providing no assistance whatsoever. He's in huge trouble there as we get a deadlift sit-out powerbomb. But Benoit could not force that submission. He might be able to do it on this one though. Crossface now. Crossface on Axel. And Benoit's got it easy. Aries is still getting distracted right now by Malenko. Axel's almost turning towards Aries, and Aries just watches as Curtis Axel submits. What got into him there? What was that about with Austin Aries? He just kind of watched. He just stared at him. Plain and simple. And Benoit and Malenko pick up a huge win here. A very, very strong win. They worked hard for that one. And it is victory, nonetheless, for these two men. Good job indeed. Took it to the former tag team champions, and there certainly seems to be some problem somewhere in that in the Dirty Heels. Aries just watched on in that moment and just let his tag team partner be as he tapped out. We'll see if anything's going to be sorted out between those two men, but that certainly seemed a little bit shady if you ask me. Anyway, we're now going to move on to our next contest. Champion versus champion. The new Cruiserweight champion, Neville, to go one-on-one against the ECW television champion, Dean Ambrose. Neville, in his success, really, last night at a few nights ago at Money in the Bank, did he bite off more than he could chew, though, by deciding to challenge the ECW television champion to an on-title matchup. It may be the case, and that's not Neville, that's Aleister Black. That's the man we saw pick up victory over Baron Corbin earlier in the night. Black now getting the jump on Ambrose. Certainly not done here tonight in Germany. Deadlift German suplex on the ramp, and Ambrose has been taken aback by this. Repeated assault right now, and Ambrose is crawling after Black. But Dean Ambrose will not say no to any fight that comes towards him. Went for the title shot and he missed it. Oh, and he pays for it there. Black now going to capitalize. Aleister Black, whether he was told to do this by Bray Wyatt or not, we don't know. But he's currently unloaded away there on the television champion, who certainly doesn't seem as if he's going to be getting his hands on Neville here tonight. He's got more important things to deal with right now. Someone just walked right in front of him, or right behind him even, and has just put the boots right to him. Black got Ambrose in a world of trouble. Dumped him right in the belt there. Aleister Black with a complete lack of respect right there against the television champion. Black clearly proving there he wants the strap. Well, whatever his intentions were, clearly Aleister Black has left one hell of an impact here tonight in this arena. A man he's defeated in singles action once before, but that clearly was not enough. For Aleister Black, he is stating what he wants right now. He wants more gold for the Wyatt family. He wants that television championship. And he wants it from Dean Ambrose nonetheless. But Neville, certainly not going to be the best pleased about that match, about the fact that his match was thrown out the window. And I'll have to see what I can do in regards to getting something done there. But if that's the case, Black and Ambrose certainly going to have something going forward, I would assume, and something that I'm going to have to go back and plan. Because clearly, well, we've seen it in the past, if you decide to pick a fight with Dean Ambrose, you are going to pay for it. Ambrose is not someone who backs down from any challenge. He will take you on, and he will make you pay for deciding to go after the Lunatic Fringe. We'll see what's going to happen regarding that. We're going to have to pay attention to it. We're going to have to move on to next week for that. But right now, we focus on the here, the now, the present, and the future of ECW. We focus on the man who's going to become the next ECW champion, whether you like it or not. It's Seth Rollins. It is the savior of ECW. And this is a man who has proven just what Diamond Dallas Page is all about. Exactly who Diamond Dallas Page truly is. He showed it at Money in the Bank. Diamond Dallas Page in his cowardice acts, too scared to go man-to-man, face-to-face with Seth Rollins, instead resorting to desperation tactics. Tactics I'd expect from the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, truth be told, behind everyone's backs. Tactics I'd expect to see from the likes of cheating scum, who we've come to know, like those over on Raw. Certainly a huge amount of those over on Raw. Tactics we'd expect to see maybe from someone like a Neville. But instead we saw it from the man who's supposed to wave the ECW flag high. Diamond Dallas Page speared Seth Rollins through the barricade, took the 10 count, took the draw in a desperation attempt to hang on to his ECW title. Well, that just wasn't the case, was it? Because after that match, I made sure to have my way. I made sure that ECW got the last laugh, not Diamond Dallas Page. And with that, of course, there is no ECW champion. If you want to know what's going to happen in regarding that title, well, you better hope Seth Rollins wins here tonight. Because otherwise, you ain't gonna be told shit. As far as I'm aware, Rollins has surpassed 100 victories in this universe. I believe that is the case, making him the only wrestler to surpass 100 victories. I would have to update the win-loss record to find that out, but, you know, I'm lazy as shit, don't at me. But as for right now, we're going to focus on this matchup. Rollins there, knee into the chest of the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles came close a few weeks ago to becoming number one contenders for the ECW Tag Team titles. They just fell short to the Authors of Pain. But this is a completely different ball game. The Authors of Pain are certainly a demanding team. One of the biggest teams out there in the universe today. But what they aren't is the greatest wrestler in the world. And that is exactly who Shawn Michaels is going toe-to-toe with right now. Good counter there, though, by Michaels. Got him here with a DDT. Nice counter, though, by Rollins. Beautiful bridge there into that Northern Lights. And he's... Oh, what? Oh, my God. Seth Rollins is so great, he doesn't even need a normal move. The greatest wrestler in the world, ladies and gentlemen. He wins with a Northern Lights suplex. Oh, Michaels, how the mighty have fallen. I didn't even get to finish off the points I had planned out, and most of them were slagging off DDP. Well, you know what that means? We get to hear from Seth Rollins quicker. Rollins, take it away. That's all I can say in response. Thank you, Rollins. Thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you for being the voice of reason on ECW that we clamour to time and time again. You haven't even broken a sweat taking on Shawn Michaels, but that's regardless. Because right now, the main mindset, the main focus goes to Diamond Dallas Page and how to remove him once and for all at SummerSlam. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear it from the horse's mouth himself. At SummerSlam, to end this once and for all, Seth Rollins, Diamond Dallas Page, for the ECW Championship, winner takes all. 3 stages of hell. Diamond Dallas Page, I have said for so long, you made your own bed, now prepare to lay in it. Well, this is your grave, and Seth Rollins will make sure you die in it. I hope you find something at SummerSlam, and I hope you find out just how pathetic you are at SummerSlam. Thank you, Rollins. You have saved this brand once more.